All right, here we go. And we're live from Cayman Island in the same room here with our mastermind group watching us live here. And yeah, lots going on today. Stocks are rebounding, oil prices are dropping. Then, of course, we have Hurricane Milton making its way through the Gulf Coast and potentially hitting Florida. No, not potentially. It will hit Florida tomorrow, right? So, what is the economic impact there? We also have Pepsi reporting earnings and news from Warren Buffett and Bank of America. And you probably guess what it is. Anyhow, we have a lot to talk about, so let's get started. And with that said, welcome to Coffee with Markus and Mark. And in this show, we are going to talk to you about what's happening in the markets and how we are trading it. And today is Tuesday, October 8th. And let's just jump right here on the chart and see what's happening. So yesterday, we closed lower in the S&P, and today seems like a little bit of a bounce back.
It does, and it's led by the Nasdaq. Dow a little quiet today though.
Yeah, so the Dow up 0.1%, the S&P today up 0.8%, Nasdaq leading the chart up 1.3%. So let's talk about what's causing it. Right now, we just see that markets overall, I mean, this rally has fizzled out. We have
Yep.
been trading in a range here, whether we're looking at the Nasdaq or the S&P or the Dow. It's just been a little bit range bound here. And because, yeah, the question is, what is the Fed's next move? How are we doing in the economy? And this we're just getting bits and pieces right now, but we will know more, of course, in the November meeting.
Yep. And this week we do have a lot of Fed commentary, so there are many of those low impact reports, and which you never know. It could be a bit of a wild card. Wednesday we do have minutes,
Yeah,
which are something to be aware of.
they're already interesting. And I saw this morning, let's see, that we had Fed Governor Adriana Kugler speaking out and said, yeah, I'm backing the jumbo rate cut. But I think this was interesting, where she said, I'm closely monitoring the economic effects from Hurricane Helene and geopolitical events in the Middle East, since this could affect the US economic outlook. If the downside risks to employment escalates, it may be appropriate to move policy more quickly to a neutral stance. That almost means like she says, let's do another half percentage cut.
It definitely can be interpreted that way, and when I saw this, I was looking at Fed funds futures to see where the probabilities lie, and it doesn't seem to be impacting that too much.
No, it was also the first time that I heard of her from her. I mean, it's usually here we hear
Some of
from
the others are
Bostic, we
more,
hear from
yes,
Bauman, we hear from. I mean, there's a few Fed members who seem to be a little bit more outspoken.
sure.
This was the first time that I mean, her name popped up for me.
She is a voting member.
Yeah, of course. And yet there's 13, and I know maybe four, five. Well, I don't know them. I know of them. Okay. Anyhow, so probabilities. Here is the quarter percentage point cut. Let's see. And here is no cut at all. And right now, I mean, yesterday I think we were as high as 16 or 18% probabilities. Right now we're back to 12%. So 88% probability that the Fed will cut rates in the next meeting, November 7th, which now is within 30 days.
I think that that's the most likely, and it will continue to be the case. But this is where there's some data that could change that coming up this week.
Right. So, talking about data this week, let's take a look at our economic calendar here. And you mentioned it today. Just a bunch of yellow flag reports. Tomorrow, the Fed meeting minutes. But then on Thursday and Friday, that's where we have the big reports.
Look at that. Red flag reports, CPI data, the consumer price index, and then also PPI data on Friday, the producer price index, which could give some more perspective on what's going on with inflation outside of that PCE number.
Yeah. So, this is what's happening. Other than this, we did have one lonely earnings today, PepsiCo reporting earnings.
Yes. So, Pepsi,
Boom. There we go.
look at
Look.
that.
Super surprising this move here today because I mean, I see the earnings came in kind of in line with expectations. a little bit amiss on the revenue side, and they also trimmed their full year outlook and said, "Yeah, you see, I think the next few quarters won't be as good." So usually this means a move to the downside.
I would agree, and especially with the mix top and bottom right there, and then a guidance change. I'm surprised that there was a higher start today, but then also because on tight,
Thank you.
also being green with a move higher.
1.4% up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
surprise,
bad.
surprise. All right. But we talked about the S&P being up and the Nasdaq really leading the pack today, up 1.3%. And if we look at the heat map, look at this. Who are the darlings today? We have Nvidia leading the charge, then the Magnificent Seven, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Meta, Tesla, Amazon, all up, almost a 1% plus. But I mean, we kind of see it here. The size of the squares represent the market cap. And look at AVTO, Broadcom, getting bigger than Tesla.
Yes, getting close, and I think that AVGO is going to be one of those big players, maybe replacing Tesla. We'll have to see.
Tesla out of the Magnificent Seven? Come on, you can't do this to Elon.
I know, but hey, we'll see. Robo taxis, October 10th.
Coming up soon. All right. We also see the energy sector today massively down after being up for the last couple of weeks. And this is due to crude oil. And today, crude oil massively down. I mean, it
Huge
seems
reversal, yeah.
right. I mean, we had this tensions between Iran and Israel, the attack that we had, and this is where crude oil moved from 66 to 78. And today, huge reversal down to 73.50 right now,
And
down 4.6% for the day.
a pullback was due, but 4.6% is a decent drop there. And I think that this is twofold. It's the anticipation of the retaliation that Israel might have on Iran for their attack. And maybe investors are speculating that it will be less severe because they haven't done it yet. But then also, there was some news out of China where there was a press conference where additional stimulus was expected or hoped for,
Right.
and the additional stimulus was not presented, and so then there's potential demand from China that could be limited. So I think it's really twofold there.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Look at this. I mean,
Yep.
China, a huge, massive drop. The Hang Seng index dropped 9.4%
Yep.
after being up here over the past few weeks. What, 37%? Okay, huge reversal. So we know that this massive move here has been due to the stimulus
Yep.
that has been announced. So I did not hear the news, but that's interesting. So this,
Yeah, I think
well,
that some investors were hoping there would be additional with this press conference, and there wasn't. And this is where I think that Chinese stocks on U.S. exchanges like PDD are down as well today.
so overall, PDD down 5%.
Baba.
Alibaba, for example, being down
Yep.
6.5%. JD.com, another Chinese stock, down 6%. Okay, but it seems that they're bouncing back right now.
Sure.
So, all right. What else? Interest rates. We talked about interest rates yesterday, and it seems that right now they have stabilized around the 4%. So, kind of 2-year yield down 0.6% today. The 10-year yield slightly up, but it seems that this up move has stalled a little bit. And this is where we also see that the VIX today, the volatility index down almost 6%. So, still trading above 20. So, there's still some fear there. And honestly, with the crude oil move, let's go back to this one because I was a little bit surprised. I thought that maybe this Hurricane Milton might impact the production of oil in the Gulf, but then I looked at the path here, and it seems, as far as I know, most of the production is
Sure.
right here, right in front of the coast of Texas, and it doesn't seem to be impacted at all. Hurricane Milton right now making its way towards Florida, hitting there. It says right now Thursday early morning, it seems. Hope everybody's safe.
Yes.
Stay safe. Okay. Uh, what else? Let's talk about our positions and see what's happening there. WTF, my gosh, we have a lot of action going on. WTF. First of all, an exit today. Pfizer exiting after having this great run up yesterday. A little bit of a reversal there, but still, this was a great trade.
Yep.
We entered at 28.29 and exited this morning at 29.20.
Yeah, I mean, just a picture perfect trade there. 2 days, nice gains, and moving on.
Right. And then we also have three new signals, and all three signals in the energy sector: AEP, Duke Energy, and NEE Next Era Energy. So we decided to take the Duke trade, the DUK.
Yep.
And I mean, so far we entered at 111, right now trading at 110.80. So just diddling
Flat.
along
Yep.
there, nothing yet to do. And then we have a bunch of open trades. So starting here off with AMT, entered yesterday at 222, right now trading at 224. This is moving nicely. We have CL slightly down, but today up 0.2%. Johnson & Johnson, this is a trade that you're in. I decided to skip this one.
Yeah. Just kind of flat there.
Right. Then Keurig Dr. Pepper, we both skipped this one. However, Coca-Cola, today I thought that Coca-Cola has a little bit more of a sympathy move with Pepsi, right? But Coca-Cola today only up 0.15%. We entered at 70, right now trading at 69, so just 90 cents below our entry. MDLZ, Mondelez International, slightly down today, 0.44%. We entered at 72.86, right now trading at 70.69, so around 2% down on this one. Altria Group, nothing to do here for us, also down half percentage point. Today, Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble had a, when did we enter this? 169.16, so we must have entered it 2 days ago. Right now trading at 167. And then we took another trade today.
Yes. Ross.
This was an open below entry. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so an open below entry or OBE trade is a trade where there is an entry signal and the stock is pulled back. So it pops up on the OBE list if it's still a valid trade. And this is one that we watched for a little bit. It was down more than 3%. We found based on some of our numbers that we run that that's a nice opportunity to take a trade. So it was right there with the other new signals when I was making a consideration, and we decided that this is one we wanted to take.
Yeah, so we entered in the open at 140.24. Right now trading at 141.26, so up around $1.
Yeah,
We'll take this. So
sure.
lots of action going on there. Do you believe that we will have some exit signals tomorrow?
I think we could.
I don't think we have any tomorrow. What do you want to exit?
Cookie bet.
Okay. From our base revenue here. Okay. Hopping over to the wheel trades and seeing what's going on there. CSIQ, I mean, after being up as much as 22% yesterday and still finishing massively higher yesterday, 11%. Today, pulling back down 10.7%.
Right back where it was Friday.
Yeah, but I mean, we talked about it this morning. Now we know that it can go up to 1950. Markets
The
have
path
a memory.
has been paved.
There you go. And now it's just a matter for CSIQ to walk it again.
Yep.
So just do it. I mean, we also have seen that, I mean, small news can drive CSIQ massively higher. So, of course, we want to see that there's a little bit of follow through, and that's what we talked about yesterday. Let's see if this rally has legs. I mean, today at first pulling back a little bit, but we also see that the 15 level here holds really nicely. Previously, it was resistance a few times. Now it is holding as support as previously. And so let's take off from here.
Yeah, and we were talking about why this why this move? Why did it go crazy? Why is it down? And to be honest, I didn't see any information out there to support either the huge rally or the drop. I know that there was a BlackRock investment in one of their subsidiaries, I think it was, and that's where we both feel that that was old news, but it just was finalized recently. I don't think that that was the real driver here, but maybe it generated some buying interest early on yesterday, and then that accelerated, which turned into a short covering rally. So if you are short, and I mean, this is where imagine if you're short at 13 and you're hanging on, your stop loss is a little bit higher, a couple bucks higher, and then all of a sudden you're short and this rally, some buying, now drives that stock higher. Well, all of those stops are being hit. And if you're short, you're buying to close that position, which could accelerate some buying, start to take out those stop losses. And then other shorts could be panicking, thinking, oh my gosh, this thing's up 10, 15, 20%. Let me get out. And then before you know it, there's a bit of a pullback and it comes back down to reality.
This would also explain the extremely high volume that we had yesterday. I mean, the typical daily volume is around 1.6 million shares traded per day. Yesterday, I think we were almost at 8 million, so almost 5 times as many shares being traded. And this is exactly right where the short covering plus the buying could have come into play. So we'll see how this shakes out over the next few days.
But if Roaring Kitty, you want to pick up CSIQ and Wall Street Bets, you want to start talking about CSIQ,
Please do.
thumbs up.
Okay. Yeah, you can do this. All right. BP, British Petroleum. This where you're in, and with crude oil today
Yeah,
retracing almost 5%. Also, this
of
down
course.
3.6%.
And that's what we saw with the heat map. Oil and gas just down.
Yeah. Halliburton, same deal here. So Halliburton also down 3.2% today. And yeah, exactly as I said, today the energy and gas sector being hit by the crude oil prices that are massively retracing here. So we'll see what's happening there. Okay. What else do we have? Then we have coals, and coals is just, I mean, we talked about it, a volatile puppy jumping all over the place, moving lower yesterday. So yesterday down 3.1%, today up 1.5%. And it is just trading in this really, really nice range. I was
Yeah.
able to sell calls several times. Right now, I'm waiting for it to go up probably to around 2050 before I can sell calls again against my position at 2150. Break even at 1974 right now, trading slightly below my break even, but nothing for me to do here.
What was that position? We were in for about 9 months, and it was the same thing where it just had this perfect range, and every time it moved up to the upper range wasn't enough to get called away, but we sold calls. We did some spreads on it. It was
Was it the other energy stock?
yes, what was that?
SU?
No, SE was good, but it was I thought it was
I can't
I can't
remember.
remember.
Yeah,
It's starting to look just like that.
yeah,
And in the long run, it was great.
yeah. And then Merck doing its thing today around the flat line. So we'll see what happens here with Merck. I'm assigned at 120. Right now trading at 108.50. Nothing for me to do. And then UPS. Now we have told UPS the line in the sand is at 131 right now, trading slightly below. So day's not over yet. Stay above there. Let's have this act as support right now
Hey,
and bouncing back.
you have to pull it below that close right now. Yes. Otherwise, it's going to think that line is resistance. It's going to mess up the trade.
Oh, okay. Let me just make this bigger,
Okay.
like this. Is this better?
Yep. See this trading tip number 252.
Yep.
Draw on the chart what you want to happen.
Okay, and it will happen.
Yes.
Okay. However, nothing else to do right there. So very interesting how the markets are reacting right now. We'll take a look at the 5-minute chart here. And before we do this, can you tell a dad joke today?
Maybe I should start with the 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 all right,
How's it
Marcus.
going, brother?
Can you use the words defense, defeat, and detail in the same sentence? Let me help you out. Let me help you out here.
I don't even know what detail means, but you go.
When a horse jumps over defense, the feet go first, and then the tail.
You could have put on a thicker accent. I should have told this one. That would be even funnier with the German accent.
It could have been.
Okay. Well, let me try to beat you there. Might be difficult though. What do you call a snowman that throws a tantrum?
What do you call a snowman that throws a tantrum?
That would be a meltdown.
A meltdown. Okay. Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Say your sentence one more time.
When a horse jumps over defense, the feet go first, and then detail.
Perfect. All right. Looking back at the markets, look at this. I mean, yesterday, we're looking at the 5-minute chart of the S&P. And yesterday, we opened slightly lower. We're diddling along before moving lower. This morning, we're bouncing right back, and we're almost trading where we were yesterday morning. So, I mean, besides this little down and bounce back, not much has changed since we met here yesterday morning. I mean, we were talking about almost the same numbers. I believe that yesterday morning we were talking around the 5,730 level. Right now we are 7 points up. So really, the big mover today is definitely the Nasdaq.
Yeah, I mean, we were down 1% yesterday and snapped right back. So I think it just shows that investors are waiting for something.
Definitely. And we know what they're waiting for. I mean, the inflation data this week and also the Fed meeting minutes. So lots to talk about tomorrow again. And I hope that you can join us. If you already just hit the subscribe button. If you like today's show, click on like. We really appreciate this. After the show, leave a comment below and say who won today's dad joke contest. And if you feel that this was good information worth sharing, there's a share button right underneath. Feel free to share it with your friends and on social media, wherever you want. With that said, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Happy trading, everybody.